Hey everyone, this is Spy101. I'm here today to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, Ant-Man and the Wasp is a movie that I had to see multiple times. Not because of the quality or anything like that, but because I wanted to take it in fully. Now, going into this movie, I was very excited. Number one, because I love Ant-Man. In the MCU and his movies, including this one. Two, it's a Marvel Studios movie. That gives you the hint that it's going to be automatic quality. Three, I love Paul Rudd as an actor, and I love him as Ant-Man, so of course I'm excited to see that. And this movie is absolutely amazing. It is my second favorite movie of this phase, right next to our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But if Spider-Man had not arrived yet, he'd be on top. Let me explain why. Because one thing that I love about the Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Ant-Man movies in general is that they have a balance on how to do drama, or how to do comedy, or how to do family interactions, or action, or suspense. They know how to balance all of that, and Ant-Man and the Wasp proves it so well, especially with the family dynamic. Now, I just picked up this book. I'm going through it and reading it because this is what happened before the events of the movie, and it's very good so far. But one thing that I feel like this book expands upon even more about what I love in the movie are the family dynamics. Now, Scott in this film, he's very laid back because he's been in house arrest for 2 years. So he's done everything, and he's been able to do everything that he wanted to do. Spend time with his daughter, or to spend time with his ex-wife and her husband or boyfriend. I don't know what position he's in right now, but he's from the first movie, the guy that was chasing him down with that other black dude. But he's doing everything that he wants to do, until something happens where he has a dream one day, and he appears as Janet, and in this vision or dream that he has, it's him as Janet walking through, opens a wardrobe, sees a young Hope, and he wakes up from the dream, and he calls Hank. He says, "Hey, I think I had this dream, right? And I think I saw your wife." And then from that moment on, everything just kicked into high gear. And what I really like about this movie as well is that it felt like not only Ant-Man's movie, but it felt like the Wasp movie too. Evangeline Lilly, sorry about the car, but Evangeline Lilly was great in this movie. She was great in the last one too, but this one especially, she gets her highlight. And I really like the fact that they handled the Wasp so well in this movie, because there was build-up throughout the first movie about her putting on a suit and taking on Yellow Jacket, but that was Scott's duty. And in the end credits of Ant-Man, we obviously got the tease of the Wasp suit. It wasn't fully complete yet, but they were working on it, and I felt like that was good build-up, and especially the payoff with this movie is exceptional. It really is. Going on to what I was talking about before about the family dynamics, there's just so much heart in this movie. Like, the moments that you see between Scott and Cassie are absolutely touching. The moments that you see with Hope and Hank are absolutely touching. The moments you see with Hank and Janet are absolutely touching. Even the moments that you see with Ghost and what's his name? He's Goliath, but forget his real name. Oh yeah, Bill Foster. That's right. Even their chemistry, I mean, it's not really touching, but it's, it's still very like, you see where they were going with it. I like that. Speaking of Ghost, Marvel's on a roll with these villains. Sure, she's not a Thanos, but at this point, like, what Marvel does so well with their villains now is that they're making us, like, see their perspectives from all angles. And I would go so far as to say that I don't really consider Ghost as a villain, because she's just doing all these things to survive. She doesn't want to hurt anybody. She doesn't want to kill anybody or cause harm to anybody. She just wants to save herself because she's dying and she wants to save herself. So it's like a selfish act to save herself, which I get why she did it, you know? It's out of fear. But the fact that you know, she lives in the movie, well, at the end she gets cured of her astral projecting like disease. You know, I hope she returns in the future, because she could be a good ally. Her and Bill Foster, which he's good in the movie too. The fight scenes in this movie were great. I love Michael Pena. He was great as well. The other two guys from the first movie were back. They're back and they're great as well. The scenes with Giant Man were great. I actually liked the fact that Scott was having problems with his suit, like a majority of times in the movie. I thought that was absolutely good, especially when he was like really small, not like ant size, but like half the size of this poster right here. Like that part especially was hilarious. And if there's one thing that I have to say about this movie and the Ant-Man movies, is that they would be right up there to me in terms of MCU franchises. This would be up there with the Spider-Man movies to me, because, like, you know how I gave MCU Spider-Man his own channel where I talk about MCU Spider-Man? Like, if I wasn't trying to create too many channels, I would make one for Ant-Man 2, because that's how much I love these movies. Like, the Ant-Man movies are in the same vein with the Spider-Man movies, as like it touches me in a special place, because, and it's crazy that I'm saying this, because back in the day, back in the Phase 1 days, when I heard they were making an Ant-Man movie, I was very skeptical, because, like, I didn't have any problems with the character, but his suit was stupid. Like, it looked stupid. Like, the helmet and the costume, it looked stupid. So I was like, nah, man. And then I saw the first movie, I loved it. Then I see the second movie, and it proves to me more and more that once the Ant-Man trilogy is complete, that it'll end up being my second favorite MCU trilogy or franchise, right next to Spider-Man. And I really mean that, because the Ant-Man movies balance everything. And that's something that I feel like a lot of superhero movies don't know, like, not from Marvel, but just like superhero movies in general. Well, not specifically from Marvel Studios. But I feel like, unlike other superhero films, Ant-Man and the Wasp does a great job at balancing all of those things to make it fluent and at the same time make it unique. And I just really appreciate that these movies were made. I really do. Especially this one, because Ant-Man and the Wasp will probably end up being my second favorite movie of the year, right next to Incredibles 2, because Incredibles 2 is still my favorite movie of the year. But Ant-Man and the Wasp will be at number 2, most likely. So, as the score goes, I'm going to give Ant-Man and the Wasp a 10 out of 10, because I've been raving about not only this movie, but the Ant-Man movies in general. When the first Ant-Man came out, I absolutely loved it. I was raving about it to everybody. Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out, I'm raving about it on my Facebook. I created a tribute for the Ant-Man movies on YouTube. like a week ago, and of course I'm raving about in this video. So yeah, I just want to get my thoughts out there, because I don't usually review Marvel movies, because a lot of people already know how I feel about the Marvel movies. Every Marvel movie that comes out is absolute greatness. But I feel like I had to review this one because Ant-Man and the Wasp is something that it's just, it was so good to me, and the Ant-Man movies are just so good to me that I just had to review it and get my thoughts out there. Yeah, especially like even in this book, like it expands on everything that I love about these movies, especially the family dynamic. So yeah, I'm Spidey Fan 101 saying peace.